The new MTO miniatures are here.
Spiky Bits.
Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. I'm Baer from SpikyBits.com, and we have in front of us the new or old new made-to-order Sister Palos and Lexicanum Varus. These were the MTO miniatures that GW was able to sell during their lockdown back in May. Because everything was closed, so they're like, hey, but we'll make these, and well, hey, it's August and we got them. So they started to arrive at anybody that basically pre-ordered them or made to order them, and they were $35 each. Now I don't know if it's something that stores are actually going to stock that they didn't pick up for there, and I'm not sure if it's going to go for anything more on the secondary market. I mean, they might, because it is what it is, and they only made the one print run, but there's a couple of big differences, besides the fact that one's a Sister and one's a Space Marine Terminator. And of course, now in August, we know that Terminators are getting a bit of a rules buff with additional wounds and additional weapon buffs too, but not necessarily this guy. So overall, we're going to take a look at both of them and put them together and see just how cool they are overall. But I can tell you this much, just by looking inside the boxes, this guy right here is completely easy to build, so we probably won't even need to use a drop of glue on it. Whereas Sister Palos, well, she is your traditional, normal multi-part kit, but it's more of a slice type deal. So let's dive into these and see how good they look put together. Well, first up is Sister Palos, and she comes in the standard little black kind of clamshell pack sort of thing insert with one half sprue, character sprue of parts, and her instruction manual. Now, this is an interesting model when I was looking at it here, because it's that very three-dimensional type deal that we saw with the Canon S model, where it's basically a superstructure here of legs and torso, and then the detail, the three-dimensional aspect of it kind of comes into play here, where you kind of sandwich more things on each side, and then you sandwich things on this side. So it gives it a lot of, kind of motion, like this aspect of motion, both, from the front and depth, from the front and from the side. And of course, she's kind of doing this pose here, but it's got all this extra parts and all these extra parts, and everything is going a different way. And it's very, for a Battle Sister, this is just your base Battle Sister. This isn't a Canon S or Superior or anything like that. She's, very, very dynamic and very, not ETB, so it's detailed, it's dynamic, but it's kind of a collector's item, because what did they say on this thing? Like, it's the commemorative series. So I don't exactly know what that means. I guess that was the stuff they're going to sell at their shows, but isn't any shows right now, unfortunately. So that kind of gets us up to this point where it has all these little parts and things that go onto it. Now, this is pretty much the standard Sisters assembly, backpack and head, but the head is interesting because the bangs look like you got to glue them on separately, and that is a tiny sprue, and I actually dropped it on the floor, and it took me literally like 10 minutes to try to find this thing, because I have, of course, gray carpet, and this is a great bit, so who would have thunk it? And then once you glue it down to the little kind of display base topper right there, it's going to have also a flame component, which is really neat too. Rules wise, literally just a Battle Sister. Nothing special about it at all. I guess I shouldn't say nothing special about it. It's the commemorative edition, and it's probably a one-off that, might be kind of harder to find if you ever actually want to get this model for your particular army. But it is just a Battle Sister with a bolter, so, it is what it is at the end of the day. There you can see her bangs that are glued on separately to her head, and those clamshell sandwich components that go onto, like, there's the front, there's the back, there's front seat too. You know about second front seats and second back seats? Well, there they are right there. And then you've got the base topper, the legs, the little flame element, and the side onesies and side twosies right there. So lots and lots of design elements going into this thing, and now we'll build it and see exactly what goes into it. So here she is right here, and you can see there is a little bit of gappage and a little bit of things you should be aware of. So there's that whole clamshell aspect right there, and pardon the glue on my fingers, I was hobbying on some stuff a couple days ago, and well, super glue takes a while to get off your fingers. Unfortunately, we had a bit of an accident, so you can see where there's a little bit of gappage there. That isn't anything new for Sisters, but there is a larger gapping in the arms right there. Now, I use this super thin to my cement, but I didn't realize that I needed to use more because the gap was so big right there. So watch out for that one. It is fixable, but it had already dried by the time I noticed it. So I was like, I could use some plastic putty to fix it, but you know, this is more just to show you guys the gotchas and actually put out a very polished miniature assembly right here. And then you can see some of the other spots too. And there was little chunks that had to be removed at the top of these accessory pouches and things like that. You're gonna have to drill out the bolter end, and then there's her head. It goes together pretty well. You just have to clear off a lot of the little sprue attachment points, touch points, so to speak. And there you can see one right there. But overall, it goes together pretty well. Just kind of watch out for those gaps on the arms, and you'll be fine. Size-wise, well, she is just a battle sister. So compared to a Primaris Space Marine, well, it's you know, about to be expected right there. And then we've got a Death Corps of Kriegsmen right here, and yep, that definitely checks out. I do like this little flame component here. It is a separate piece, but it definitely adds a lot more to the base. And of course, you've got its Warhammer, so you know what you're gonna have on the base: a skull. Next up is the Lexicanum Varus model. So Terminators are definitely in vogue right now, along with the normal old tiny Space Marine miniatures. And this one's a little different from the sister because, well, you can see it is 100% ETB right there. So everything is going to be on the sprue. It's all going to be push fit, and even the base is pretty dope, but also push fit as well. So that's kind of cool. Checking out the instruction manual. Let's just see how hard it is. Front and back half, shoulder pad, arm, 2 components to the storm bolter, head. I think I'm pretty well qualified to put this one together. Librarian and Terminator armor rules. Obviously, this is the older version of it. I imagine this guy's gonna maybe get another wound. I don't know, going forward. But it's really hard to say until we see the new Space Marine Codex in October. And there he is. I won't lie, this literally took longer to clip out and trim the little like sprue from the nubs of the push fit parts than to actually put together. This is literally not a drop of glue on it. It's completely push fit together, which is hilarious to me. I love doing this. I love with the Indominus stuff. I really like doing that. The everything is very tight and very well done on here. You know, you're just gonna have to do a little bit of extra kind of cleaning to get it to kind of push fit all together. But boom, I mean, that's pretty dope. Now you can, like everybody says in the comments, and it's 100% right, if you don't like push fit, you know, you can always cut the little slots and everything off and then just kind of glue it down. That will work. I would just cut the slots. I wouldn't cut the hole, because what's going to happen is you're still going to need some support in some areas, or else, you know, you might have a slip fault or something like that, and nobody wants that. You might want to glue out the barrels too on here, because those aren't done either. But everything else looks pretty stunning, and you can always pull the head out and paint him separately, you know, or find a different suitable head to kind of put in there, maybe that helmeted head or something like that. But overall, very, very striking miniature on a really nice scenic base that comes along with the miniature. And there's how he compares up to a Primaris Intercessor. And then we've got little Duder Man, Mr. Death Corps of Krieg. I don't know where he's running to, but he's always running. Might be Bears, might be Bees, might be Battlestar Galactica. Who knows? But there he is. So that is pretty much it. We put them both together. I would love to tell you where to get these. We'll probably throw an Amazon affiliate link up in the everywheres. We'll call it the everywheres, because I don't know who's going to actually carry these, and they might be going for more on the secondary market. But just remember, the original price was $35 from Games Workshop, and these are just normal miniatures. There are no special rules, no character rules, no nothing like that. But if you're looking for a different posed miniature, maybe like a one-off type thing, this might be perfect for you. But you know, just remember, there really isn't something super duper special about these. It's just an offering from Games Workshop when they were on lockdown. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can be the very first to like and comment on all our videos.